Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a large suburban house. In this video, we will make the entire inside and outside of the house, including the front garden, garage, including all of the fun playthings. I'll even throw in a garden shed. Inside the house, we have our hallway, living room, kitchen/dining room, heading upstairs, a shared bathroom. We have a small bedroom on both sides of the house. And we have a large bedroom on both sides of the house, including the bedroom itself, an ensuite bathroom, and a walk-in wardrobe. And don't think that you're limited to making the house out of birch planks. It actually looks good in pretty much any wood. And not only that, various terracottas, and concrete. It even looks good made out of mushroom, but we don't have mushroom left in this intro, so let's move on to the tutorial. This is the amount of space required to make the house. Here are some of the materials that we will use throughout the build, and here are the rest of them. Begin by placing 5 smooth quartz in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend backwards by 1. Right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend forwards by 1. And then right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. And then extend right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend backwards by 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We then simply want to extend all the way across the back of the build and line up and join all the way back to where we very first started. We then want to fill the entire inside of this shape in using smooth quartz. Next, come all the way back to the very start of the build and place a row of 7 birch planks on top of this smooth quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to come all the way down to the bottom of this row and place a white stained glass to the right of this, white stained glass pane in front, extend right by 2, 1, 2, place a white stained glass behind that, and a birch plank to the right. We want to place an upside down smooth quartz stairs underneath that center pane with sideways facing stairs left and right, just like this. We then want to add an additional glass on top of every single glass that we have placed, 2 rows of birch planks extending across the top of this window, with a smooth quartz stairs on top of the center glass and sideways facing ones left and right. We then want to place a row of birch planks extending from the top of this row across to the right and down, and then we can just fill the center of this area in with white stained glass pane, just like this. We should then be able to add a birch plank on top of each one of these 3 center blocks, and then finally this one at the very top. The roof shape is very conventional here. We will place smooth quartz stairs extending all the way up to the top here, joined together with a slab, stairs all the way down, and then stairs hanging off of the front of the house by 1 row, with upside down stairs underneath the overhanging row and a solid block just underneath the top there. So that is how the roof will look on this side of the house, and we actually want to do the exact same thing all the way over here on this side of the house also. So we will start off in the same way. A row of 7 planks extending up from this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can even jump the gun a bit and extend all the way to the left and down to create a solid shape. We then can place an upside down smooth quartz stair in front of this center block, sideways stair left and right, which will then facilitate us placing 2 white stained glass here, 1, 2, and 2 here, 1, 2, and then we can just place the white stained glass pane in front of these, just like this, so we achieve the same thing. We then want to place 2 rows of birch planks directly on top of this window, with a smooth quartz stair on top of the center block, and then sideways blocks left and right. So sideways, we could theoretically have something like this, just flat across the top, but it just looks better to flare them, I think. Then finally, we can fill this empty space in. This is just a window just above this. We can then place 1, 2, 3 planks on top of these 3 center blocks and an additional one on top of the middle, just so that we create that pyramid shape, and then place a series of smooth quartz stairs up and down the side of our pyramid with a slab at the very top. We then want to have each one of these stairs and slab blocks overhang the front of the build to create little tiny mini roofs for this particular part of the house. Upside down stairs and a solid smooth quartz block underneath the center. That's absolutely perfect. So now that we have done that, we will start on the left side just because we want to extend our birch planks inwards to sit on top of the original framework that we placed for the house. So these outer smooth quartz blocks, we want to extend this entire wall backwards by 2 rows so that we are sat on the outside of it. Then we are going to extend the bottom inwards 1 block, place a quartz pillar extending in, 2 white stained glass pane, and then a quartz pillar. We then want to place a birch plank, extend back 1, right 1, spruce door, 2 birch planks extending right, 1, 2, extend forwards, quartz pillar, 2 white stained glass pane, 1, 2, quartz pillar, 2 birch planks, and then extend forward. So the end result will look like this, and that's perfect. So all we have to do from here is add additional pillars on top of the pillars that we have made, and additional glass on top of the glass that we have placed. We then want to build up the surrounding walls using birch planks until we have 2 rows of birch planks placed directly on top of our windows. So you'll take a look and you'll see that this is a similar structure to what we have on the left and right. So we have the windows, 2 rows in between, and now we actually want to place windows above these as well. So that means that on the left side here we will place a birch plank, quartz pillar, 2 glass pane, quartz pillar. We want these to be 2 rows high in total. We also have a small window right in the middle of the build, so this is actually above the door, and it's just 2 glass pane on top of each other like this, above where the door is. And we want to come to the other window and place our 2 quartz pillar with white stained glass pane in between, just like this. And then the next part's really easy. We just want to fill everything in with birch planks. So all in between and above and across the top of the windows. Fill it all in with birch planks. It'll all connect together really nicely in between the two sides of the house. And we'll end up with something that should look like this, which is really nice. And all we have to do from here is just extend these roofs a little bit. So we extend the smooth quartz stairs inwards and across the entire front of the house, and we just want to leave this alone. As a matter of fact, we can even just add some smooth quartz block here and we'll create a nice little depth effect. So there we go, that's looking good. We also have to make a porch. So the porch, we want to connect the two sides of the house together in front of the front door and then add an additional row of, I want to say 2, I do believe it's 2, so 2 rows of smooth quartz block here like this, with a row of smooth quartz stairs in front of that. We then want to place smooth quartz block either side of this, just like so. We are then going to place... Next, we are going to place brown carpet in front of the front door so that we have a welcome mat. Spruce fence on the left and right sides of the porch like this, and extend the end blocks up an additional row. Place smooth quartz slabs on top of these blocks. Extend these slabs back to the house, but also an additional row forwards. We then want to extend these slabs upwards and inwards like this. We can place lanterns underneath the left and right side slabs, but we want to extend these slabs all the way back to connect to the house, so that it's every single one of these that will give us this. Perfect. So we also want to place grass block underneath the upper inward pair of windows with ferns inside of the grass block and oak trapdoors surrounding the grass and underneath the grass also. So here, grass here, ferns, and then oak trapdoors surrounding and underneath the grass, just like this. We are then going to place podzol in front of the lower windows underneath these with some leaves just on the outer parts with ferns inside of the podzol. We want to do this on both sides. So podzol against this wall, 2 leaves here, ferns on top of the podzol. The end result is this. Moving on to the right side of the build, we are going to extend this back corner block up by 7 using birch planks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to repeat this 5 times. We want to place a block to the left and up. That would be once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Extend left 1. We then want to extend down and to the left 5 times. So down left once, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This will then connect us back to the front of the build just like this, and we can then fill this entire side wall in using birch planks. So next, we want to place smooth quartz stairs along the outsides of the triangular shape that we have created, leading all the way to the front of the build. So it gets a little bit weird connecting to this roof, but it basically just means that some blocks have got to be sideways, and some blocks are like facing dead on. So we'll see in just a second after we have extended the entire side of this roof just like this. And we don't actually have to extend the entire thing, but you can see that these blocks, for instance, we want to have connected sideways facing blocks. So all the way up at the top of the roof, we actually want to replace these 2 stairs with terracotta. The terracotta then wants to extend all the way down to the ground, and the first probably 5 rows or so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can extend an additional row forwards. The terracotta also wants to extend up an additional row out of the top of the roof, and we're also going to extend it inwards just an additional row like this. So with that done, we are now able to add the upside down stairs underneath the overhanging row on the front and the back of the build, just like this. So now that we have done that on one side of the build, we want to come all the way over onto this opposite side and do the same thing. So on top of this corner block, a row of 7 planks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to create the same shape as we have over there, over here. So we want to extend right and up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extend right 1, and then we want to go down and to the right 5 times as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Connect back, just like this. That's perfect. So the next step of this is filling the entire wall in using birch planks. We are then going to place smooth quartz stairs along the outside of the triangular shape that we have. And extend these stairs 1 row across, just like this. It would actually be an ideal time to destroy these upper 2 blocks and replace them with terracotta. These also want to extend up an additional row and then inwards like this. We will then extend the terracottas all the way down to the ground. And then extend these bottom 5 blocks 1 row forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like this. We then want to place the upside down stairs underneath the overhanging row. Just like that. Moving on to the back of the build, we are first of all going to focus our attention on this left side. Place a birch plank on top of this smooth quartz. Then place 2 spruce doors right of the birch plank. Then place smooth quartz stairs in front of the doors. Then 3 birch planks right of the doors. 1, 2, 3. We then want to place 2 white stained glass pane. 1, 2. And then 2 birch planks. 1, 2. We then want to place a white stained glass. Extend forwards with a white stained glass pane. Right by 2. 1, 2. And then extend backwards with a white stained glass. And upside down, smooth quartz stairs underneath the center block with sideways facing stairs left and right. We then want to add an additional glass block on top of every single one of the glass blocks that we have placed. We then want to place a row of 2 birch planks on top of the glass blocks at the back with a smooth quartz stair on top of the center block and sideways stairs left and right, just like this. We then want to place 2 birch planks right of this glass window, 1, 2, then 2 more white stained glass pane, 1, 2, and then 3 more planks, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 glass, 1, 2, and then a birch plank. So the end result will look like this. We then want to add an additional row of glass on top of our glass. We then want to place birch planks above and in between and across the top of everything that we have just made. So we want to have 2 rows of birch planks across all of the windows and doors and what have you, and this will be the separation between the downstairs and the upstairs. So with this complete, we are going to come all the way over to the left side once again and place a row of 3 glass pane. 1, 2, 3. Then 3 birch planks, 1, 2, 3. 2 glass, 1, 2. 2 birch planks, 1, 2. 3 glass pane, 1, 2, 3. 2 birch planks, 1, 2. 2 glass pane, 1, 2. 3 birch planks, 1, 2, 3. 2 glass pane, 1, 2. Then all we have to do is add an additional glass pane on top of our glass panes with birch planks all in between and across the top of what we've made. We only need the 1 row of birch planks this time, and then we can extend a row of smooth quartz stairs across the top of what we have just made. So the end result will look like this. Next, come all the way to the front left-hand corner of the house. Count in front of the corner of the house 1, 2 blocks, and then to the left 1, 2, 3. Place 3, 1, 2, 3 birch planks on top of this position. We then want to leave a gap of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then place 3 more, 1, 2, 3, extending up. A block of iron in between the middle of these, yet behind, with a trip wire hook in front. Smooth quartz stairs left and right of the block of iron. We then want to add 2 rows on top, just like this. We then want to extend the birch planks rows, each back by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Connect them together at the back and extend each one of those birch plank blocks backwards. We then want to give this thing a roof, so we simply just want to place smooth quartz slabs on the side of, extending in front and then inwards like this, so around the top 2 corners of the garage. We then want to extend these inner slabs inwards and upwards until they eventually connect together, rather like this. We can then extend these slabs all the way to the back of the build, and then we can extend them inwards and upwards so that they join together. So you'll notice that there is a single block just up at the top here, which you can either fill in with glass, so it would be here on the front, or you can just kind of like leave it. Or I guess it would be here, right? Just directly on top of the garage door. We can place them both there, but regardless, we are then going to extend the smooth quartz blocks backwards / forwards to connect to each other, and the smooth quartz slabs will do the same. And there we have a wonderfully fine garage. Let's remove that block and place a slab there. It looks better above the door, I think. If you like, you can also access said garage, so I'd probably have the access point on the back, like here. But that will then mean if you do want to make the inside of the garage, and that's perfectly fine, we will remove the entire floor and replace it with smooth stone. We'll also have to give it a door, which we do have. We have a spruce door on us, so we can place this here. And then you can use a garage for what you like. So I'll give you a few different options throughout the build, but ideas include car, bikes, crafting tables, the sort of thing that you might find in a garage, but we'll go through that as this tutorial progresses. Next, we are going to remove the first 2 rows of the grid. Then we want to replace this left row with smooth stone and place 6 stone stairs extending to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We then want to place stone behind the stairs and then fill the rest of this hole in using smooth stone. Next, we want to connect the pavement to the porch, and we can fill this in with stone. We then want to create a small path that leads us to our driveway, so leave a gap of 1 and then destroy 2 rows leading all the way over to the garage. And we actually want to also remove every single grass block behind our 6 rows of stone. And we also want to remove just around the garage as well, so just leading all the way back here. And we want to fill every single block that we have just destroyed in with stone. So this will create a pathway system, a drive, that leads us all the way around the front and to the back of the house. On the left side of the grid, where we still have grid, we want to place a row of bricks that leads all the way to the very back of the grid and across the back. And we want to lead towards the front and line up with the side of this chimney. We then want to add another row of bricks on top of what we have just made. Next, we want to add spruce fence just behind the smooth stone pavement that we have made, just like this. And we then want to place an oak leaf here next to this fence and extend backwards along the side of the house. We then also want to add oak leaves around the edge of the back of the house and in between this window, and we actually want to lead all the way back to the front through this chimney here, leading all the way in between the path to the fence that we've made. So we want to have something that should look like this. We then want to remove the white concrete here on the right and replace this with smooth stone, just like so. We are then, on the front of the build, going to remove these rows of grass blocks. So basically, we want to leave the grass underneath the fence alone, and we also want to leave one row in front of our podzol alone as well. And we want to remove everything else there. And replace it with lime terracotta. Moving on to the back garden, we are first of all going to remove this entire back row of grass and replace it with podzol. And then place large ferns on the podzol. We then want to remove a row of grass extending out of the back of the house that will extend and connect to this empty space that we're about to create. But first of all, we are just going to backfill this row with smooth stone, just like this. So the row that I'm talking about is essentially going to extend from here, the stone that we placed earlier, all the way to here, to the patch of podzol. So we're just removing all of this grass and replacing it with stone. So, this stone here is going to be a wonderful platform for our shed. The shed starts in this corner. Just kidding. Extend inwards diagonally by 1 and place 1, 2, 3 spruce planks extending left, with a spruce door next to it and then a spruce plank to the left of that. Extend backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll hit the wall, across the back and join back to the front. Add a white stained glass pane here, and then add another row of spruce planks on top of everything that we've just made, and then I think that we're actually going to make it another, so we will add yet another row of spruce planks on top of everything that we have made, like this. Now, we are going to actually place the roof, so this is going to be dark oak slabs hanging off of the tops of the sides of the front of the shed. And then when we have this, very similar to the garage, we then want to extend the dark oak slabs inwards and upwards until they eventually reach a peak, which we are just going to fill underneath the peak in with a spruce plank on both the front and the back. So we can now extend those slabs, now that we have the roof shape all the way back, and then extend them inwards and upwards on the back as well to achieve the shape of the roof. And then we can simply just extend every single slab, connect front to back, and that will be the roof complete. Next, we are going to remove most of the grass on the back garden. So you could remove all of the grass, or you could leave a row in front of the podzol, similar to what we did on the front garden. I think I like the effect So I'm just going to leave one row of grass alone and then remove all of the rest of it and replace it with lime terracotta. I don't know why I like this effect, by the way. I think it's kind of nice just to have a little bit of gradation between the lime terracotta and the podzol. Maybe that's why it is. Maybe it's just a bit different. I'm not sure. You don't have to do it, but I'd recommend it. I think it looks cool. You could even place something on the grass as well if you wanted to. So you could place like iron bars to protect the ferns, or maybe you could place like just a fence or something. I don't know, but regardless. So on the back garden we have a bunch of room to place lots of different fun things. So the first fun thing is going to be a swing set, and these can be placed loosely anywhere in this empty space, by the way, so don't get too caught upon this block here specifically or what have you. So first of all, we are going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 yellow concrete extending up somewhere on top of the lawn. 2 red concrete extending across, a yellow concrete next to it, and then extend down to the ground. We then want to place chains underneath the red concrete with mangrove trapdoors underneath the chains. There we have a swing set. Leave a few rows in between the swing set and then place a light blue concrete. Extend up by 1, place a smooth quartz stair in front of it, join down to the ground like this, upside down stair underneath like so. We then want to place an open warped fence gate facing this way and ladders behind the light blue concrete. So what that gives us is a slide. Now coming all the way over to the right side here, we want to create a ring using a mixture of prismarine and smooth red sandstone blocks. So by ring, I mean this. The center block will be the opposite of whatever is in the middle. We then want to fill this in with water, like this, and then we want to add a little seating set next to this, so a spruce stair, scaffolding, stair, something like this. There's a little bit more room, so if you wanted to, you could make like a sand pit. So I actually didn't do this in the original, but I don't see why we couldn't make a little sand pit, so something like this. It doesn't have to be too big. And it kind of just fills in the rest of this space nicely. So we can have a little sand pit like this. So it can be raised or it can be like built into the ground. And we would want to have like at the very least, like a pot in here to play with as well. And I think that just like fills in the back garden rather nicely. Next, we are going to add some things into the shed. So this is really simple stuff. So different kinds of tables work well. Maybe like a chest. You could even go for like an armor stand for some like gardening gear, but something like this works really well. Maybe a chest even suspended on the wall, maybe like slabs underneath the chest or something like this. If you want to go crazy, like you can add tripwire hooks, you can add gardening gear here, you can add like item frames next to it with like, or on the wall even, like with shovels and shears and like all sorts of fun things that you might expect to find in a shed. But I didn't really want to clutter up my inventory, but you could 100% do that, and you know, like leather, like gloves and boots, you know, things that you would expect to find in a shed. Or if it's anything like my shed, you will find everything that I don't want in the house. It's essentially a giant junk drawer in the form of like a wooden hut in my back garden. So I don't know if you guys have the same thing, but I definitely do. In this empty space between the shed and the garage, I want to have a couple of bicycles. So first of all, we want to place back-to-back oak trapdoors on the ground like this. We then want to leave a gap of 1 and do the exact same thing behind. We then want to place an iron bar off to the side with a sign in front of the bar connecting the front and back wheels together with the same coloured fence as the sign above the front pair of wheels. And there we have what I think to be the simplest and possibly best looking bike in mind. We're going to do the same thing just off to the left as well. So if you want, you can line them up. I'm going to stagger them a little bit. So I'm just going to place this one just a little bit further back than I did the other one. And this one I'm going to make using warped fence and signs instead. So when it comes to the driveway, I want to place a car here. This is the simplest car design that you could possibly make. Start off with a row of your 4 favorite wool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add another row next to it. Place an additional 2 wool on top of these back 2 pair of wool. Glass in front. Corresponding carpet on top of the glass, bonnet and boot. glow item frames in front, stone buttons on the sides of the front and back wall blocks, and there you have the simplest car that has ever been made. I would also recommend placing one of these in the garage. Now, I'm not going to swap out the walls because I don't really feel like it, but we can actually fit this in the garage as well, and it looks great. Perfect. If you wanted to, you could add like a couple of crafting tables in here too, but we are getting very, very cramped with this, so maybe just like a crafting... maybe just that single crafting table will do nicely, actually. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually the entire outside of the house made. So what we now have to do is head inside and work on laying out the interior. First of all, we are going to place a row of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 birch planks extending left and right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out of the sides of the entrance towards the back of the house. We will then also add a row of birch planks just 2 rows away from this, just to kind of like frame this center window a little bit. But these 2 rows are quite important as they want to extend all the way up to the very top of the house. So all the way up to the top of the birch frame that we have placed. And then we are going to add 2 rows of birch planks like this to create doorways just at the back of the build on the left and right. And we also want to create a staircase. So the staircase is made by placing a smooth quartz stair here, and then 3 more, 1, 2, 3, extending up and back onto the next floor. So we want to place smooth quartz blocks extending backwards from these stairs, and these smooth quartz blocks we then want to place birch planks along the sides of our stairs leading all the way up, and then we want to extend across to the right just like so. So this is kind of like the entrance hallway, and then we can actually fill the entire floor in on the second level with smooth quartz blocks. So this is actually where the second floor is. We also want to add spruce fence along our staircase, just like this, so all the way up to the top of the stairs and across to this wall. We are then going to remove this row of birch planks and this row of birch planks like this, and we then, next to the rows that we just destroyed, we actually want to add birch plank walls here and here, just like this, and extend this block across, this block across. We also want to connect these 2 rows together, so what we are effectively making, if you can see this, we have made the landing, and we want to remove these 2 birch plank blocks here. So we've made the landing. This is actually going to be a bathroom. So the entrance to the bathroom, it's kind of up to you where you want to put it. You could add the entrance like up front and center. It's kind of cool just to have like a door right here, or it could be on this side or this side of the house. It actually doesn't really matter. So let's say that we're going to work on the right side just first of all. On the right side, we want to add a doorway here. So a doorway starts here. We then want to place 1, 2 birch planks extending left, then forwards like this, door here, birch planks. So it will look like this. Then we are going to extend this row of birch planks across to create a wall, and then in this room we are also going to create a wall here and here. So it will look like this. I think it's a lot easier to see from the sky. We then want to build up our birch plank walls to extend and connect across our doorways. We are also going to have to make additional doorways as well, but this is the shape that we want. So this is part of the hallway. This is a small bedroom. This is a large bedroom. And this large bedroom leads into a bathroom. So we're going to remove these 2 blocks. This would be the bathroom. And this is going to be a closet. So we are going to remove these 2 rows right in the middle. And once we have achieved this, we want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So if we start off all the way over here on this opposite side, we place a spruce door here and place 2 planks here, 1 plank here, door here, 2 planks here. We are then going to extend these birch planks here across to join to this wall. We also want a row of birch planks here as well. And then we want these 2 rows here as well. So if we take a look at it from the sky, you can see, and if we compare it to the opposite side, we have the exact same thing. All we have to do is extend all of these rows upwards. And I know that this might be a little bit confusing, but I think that you guys will manage to do it no problem. We want to place all of these planks just like this. And then, if we start again from like the top of this hall. In here, this is a small bedroom. That's perfect. This is a larger bedroom where we want to remove these 2 rows. This will lead into an ensuite bathroom. And these 2 rows here, this will lead into a closet. And that is absolutely perfect. And now that we have done that, that is the entire layout complete for the ground floor. With the entire internal layout complete, we can now finish the roof. So, for the roof, we are going to start on the front. And I think that the easiest thing to do would be to connect the 2 window sections together. So if we just place a couple of rows of smooth quartz stairs to connect the middle, left and right sides of the roof together just around like this. And just on the sides here, we just have to add some rows of smooth quartz stairs and slabs just to fill all of this in just at the top. There we go. That's perfect. Then the rest of the roof is insanely simple. We just have to connect the left and right sides together. The remaining part on the front. And we just have to add an additional row of stairs just at the top, by the way. That's why we have the chimneys extend 1 row further. And then we can just connect down all the way to the back. Or bottom back, I should say. What? To the bottom back of the house. Now, with the roof done, we are going to head back inside, all the way up to the 2nd floor specifically, and we are going to extend all of our birch plank blocks all the way up to the roof. So you don't actually have to do this if you don't want to. What this effect is it gives us giant ceilings. So all of these rooms feel much larger as a result of doing this. But if you wanted to add a fake roof to the top of this, so like just on top of what we've made, like you could just place like a ceiling block here, and then that way you don't have like a giant ceiling. But I don't really see the downside of having like really big giant walled rooms. Although, if you wanted to make an attic or a loft, then you would have to add a false ceiling in, as we discussed. But I'm not having this in this house. I feel as though that it's a little bit boring. I would literally just make it look like an actual regular person's loft, like mine. Like, there'd just be junk in it, so I don't see the point in making a fake loft in Minecraft just to fill it with junk, but you can if you want. So the next part of this is then making the inside of the roof look a little bit more attractive. So we have to add upside down stairs to the inside of the roof like this, and it just looks a lot better. So just go room by room and just do exactly that. You'd be surprised at how much of a difference this actually makes. To me, it kind of just makes the build just feel a lot more realistic. I don't know, it just feels a lot better. So this is a perfect example, right, on where you could just add a faux ceiling. So you could just add something like this, and then pop some sea lanterns in here, because this is a bathroom anyway. Pop some sea lanterns in here. You could do the same in here, although you could alter the ceiling height. So this is a closet, and we can just add a couple of sea lanterns there. So you could make the ceiling taller or shorter if you wanted to. And we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing on the opposite side. So this is the bathroom. I've put the entrance to the bathroom right in the middle. I'm not sure if I actually want to keep it this way, but I am for now, just because I just like the idea of a door right at the top of the stairs. I don't even know why, but I do. So same thing all the way over here as well. I'm just going to add a fake ceiling in, sea lanterns here, and like for example, like you could make the ceiling like a lot higher in the closet like this, or you could make it a little bit lower in line with pretty much everything else. It really doesn't matter, it's personal preference anyway. With all of that complete, we can now finally start furnishing the inside of our home, starting with the entrance. So the first thing that we are going to do is fill underneath the stairs in and create a closet. So just add in some birch planks, chest, tripwire hook, throw a door on it, perfect, we have understairs storage. In this corner here, we will have an armor stand for our coats and hats and dungarees, and next to it a chest with a tripwire hook above it. Next to this, a table. So this is 1, 2, 3. Shall we make it? Yep, 3 spruce planks with spruce sides in front of the planks, just like this. And then we want to place a lamp on the end of this table, so that's an end rod with green glazed terracotta above it, a couple of item frames, tripwire hook in one of the item frames. Maybe we'll leave a gap from this tripwire hook here, and that's perfect. We then want to add some green carpet just next to the stairs like this to make it feel a little bit homier. And then moving on to this back wall here, we are going to add some spruce fence just in these corners with end rods connecting the tops together and green banners in front of the spruce fence. It kind of just looks like curtains. I really like this effect. I think it looks pretty good. You could add some more carpet if you wanted to, but that might be a little bit overkill. So moving on to the left side of the house, we have a living room. So in the living room, we have a TV against this wall, so place note blocks against the 3 blocks here with 2 rows of black concrete above them. Leave a gap of 1 and place some spruce slabs on the ground in front of this. Leave another gap of 1 and place a sideways spruce stair, regular one in the middle, and another sideways spruce stair connecting together to form a sofa. We are then going to delete in between and around these blocks and replace all of this with green wool. Just like this. Then we are going to place against this wall, so where the TV is here, we are going to place 2 rows of bookshelves like this. We're then going to leave a gap of 1 and then place 1, 2, 3 stripped spruce logs. Leave a gap of 1 and then place 2 rows of bookshelves like so. And then in no particular order, we'll place a lantern and a couple of flower pots. I'm going to place a fern and azaleas in mine, and I will throughout most of the build. I'm kind of going for like a natural colour palette, so browns and greens, stuff like that. So if you want to go for something different, feel free. Anyway, spruce trapdoors above all of this, and then we actually want to place, and this is going to be a little bit tricky to tell you the truth, we want to place flipped up spruce trapdoors on the left and right side of this. There we go. That actually wasn't that tricky at all. And we also want to place spruce signs in front of the bottom, so that's perfect. We also want to have a bookshelf right at the back here, just like so. And I am contemplating, that is wool, not carpet. And I am contemplating just adding a little bit of more green carpet in here. I don't know whether I like it or not, but I'll keep it. We also need a lamp, so one lamp here, so a couple of emeralds stacked on top of each other with a brown glazed terracotta like this. And this wall is prime for some paintings, so if we grab just a painting here, and I think if we separate the wall like this, that's actually good. I'm kind of wanting double Pinocchio, because it fits the room. There we go, that's perfect. This is the entire living room, nice and complete. Feels very homey with this colour palette, that's why I chose it. Moving on to the opposite side of the house now, we will first of all stack 2 blocks of iron in this corner with stone buttons in front of them. A furnace here to the right, a cauldron to the right of that with a tripwire hook above it, white concrete right of that with a rail on top of it, iron trapdoor in front of it. Then, extending from this wall, we want to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spruce slabs extending out of the wall, with brown shulker boxes above everything that we have made, just like so. The next thing that we are going to do is place 1, 2, 3 stripped spruce logs here and here, so effectively we want to leave ourselves 1 row gap just so that we can like walk around this, and we have created a kitchen island / breakfast bar. So on the kitchen island we will place brewing stands and flower pots and item frames, and feel free to fill all of those in if you like. On the breakfast bar we will just place item frames and flower pots, just like so. And once again, do feel free to fill those in if you do so choose. So against this window here we are going to place 2 stripped spruce logs. We will then place spruce trapdoors above the window, and on the sides of this we will place flipped up spruce trapdoors like so. We then want to place signs in front of the logs, a lantern on top of one of the logs, and a flower pot with something in it in the other log. That will give us this. We also want to place a tripwire hook or 2 by the back door. And on this wall right here, we want to place a brown glazed terracotta with an oak leaf on top of it. Then here, we want to place bookshelves in front of these 3 rows separating the windows. And we want to place spruce slabs extending from the bottom row of bookshelves with spruce stairs either side, with flower pots and item frames and whatever else you might like on top of the slabs. We are then going to place around the table, do we want to add an additional row around the table or just underneath the table, of green wool. So similar to what we did in the living room with the sofa, we want to have this. That's perfect, it just adds a nice bit of colour. And then we are going to add some paintings to the wall, some nice 1x1s like this on this wall, and you can even do the same here. Looking good, perfect. So it's a little bit dark in this room, and I myself, because I can, I will simply just use commands just to make the room lighter, but you feel free to hang lanterns or torches or whatever it is that you would like. I can just manually add light, so I'll do that, but you know, feel free to add what you like to just make it a little bit lighter if you like, or maybe you prefer like a more dim effect. It is up to you. Regardless, with downstairs complete, we are now going to head upstairs, and I think that the first room we will tackle is this one right in front of us, the bathroom. So this is a shared bathroom. We are going to place 2 stairs here, tripwire hook here, lever here. We have a small bath now with a green banner against the wall. We have a towel, green carpet, we have a bath mat, and just off to the right we can have a toilet, aka a cauldron with a trapdoor, and we can even have like a large sink here, so a couple of tripwire hooks with some upside down stairs. That looks pretty good. Or alternatively we could have like the cauldron here, spruce trapdoor here, flower pot here, and not have a sink. That's also a possibility. Or upside down stairs here, tripwire hook here, so we still have the toilet or a sink. But I don't know why I'm giving you guys so many different options, but do feel free to do one of those. Moving outside now, we are going to add... Originally, there were a couple of paintings up at the top here. I didn't originally have the door here, so I'm not sure it makes sense to have this now because they're not really centered. But some 1x1 paintings, maybe, on the wall. If you think that that's a good position for them, I'm not certain myself. It doesn't look bad though, so I think that I'll just leave them. And then we either go to the left side or the right side of the house. First, let's go all the way over to the left side. I want to tackle both of these small bedrooms. In each small bedroom is a bed, and one is blue and the other is pink. So this is the blue one. So in the blue bedroom, we are going to have 2 bookshelves extending from the wall here, and then 1, 2, 3 spruce planks stacked on top of each other. Ladders against the planks, and then we want to be able to place a bed on the wall connecting to that top spruce plank, if that makes sense. That's perfect. Add some spruce signs on the side of the bed, just like this, and then add a 2x2 square of light blue carpet in front of the bookshelves. We then want to place a couple of end rods next to the door with white glazed terracotta on top, and then we are going to place a lantern and a flower pot on top of our bookshelves, and in this corner here, a chest, armor stand, tripwire hook, and on the side of this, we will place a couple of spruce trapdoors, and across the top, and in front of this, we will place, so we have to place them this way, 2 spruce doors. So there we have a wardrobe, lamp, a cabin bed, and I mean, what else does one need? And once we have done this on this side of the build, we are actually going to go ahead and do the exact same thing all the way over in this opposite room. So since we have all of this stuff out, we will make the closet in this corner in the exact same way that we made the closet in the opposite room. So it is positioned here. And then we want to add a lamp in this corner with a couple of end rods and a pink glazed terracotta on top. Then in the corner of the room, a couple of bookshelves, next to it 1, 2, 3 spruce planks extending from the ground with ladders in front of the planks. We want to suspend a pink bed in the air above the bookshelves with spruce signs on the side of the bed. We then want to place a flower pot and a lantern on top of the bookshelves, and then last but not least, a 2x2 square of pink carpet in front of all of this. And there we go, that is small bedroom number 2. So moving into the larger bedroom, the first thing that we will make is a bed. This is a 2x3 rectangle of red wool, or any colour wool that you like, with white carpet at the top. Next to the top here, I'm just going to place a chest, and at the foot of the bed, a couple of green carpet. Doesn't necessarily go with the red, it kind of feels like Christmas in here, but you know what? I heard a song say once, I wish it could be Christmas every day. And I feel that, I should have wrote it, that comes from the heart. Anyway, so we are now on this wall going to place some paintings. So these are just some 1x1s, right there, there we go. Would it look better to place some more carpet around the bed? I think it does actually, I think it does look a little bit better this way. So now that we have done this, we are going to move into this room. So this is just the small bathroom that is attached, the ensuite if you like. We want to place a couple of smooth quartz stairs in this corner, kind of like wrapped around with a tripwire hook above one stair and a lever above the other, with a banner to the right of this. On this wall, a cauldron with a spruce trapdoor on top, upside down smooth quartz stair to the right, tripwire hook right of that, and that is perfect. We could even place like a small bin in here, a bin in the form of a flower pot, so maybe just like maybe here. I think that kind of fits in, or it would actually be better opposite the toilet. there we go. That's looking pretty good. A nice little condensed bathroom. And then when it comes to the closets, I only have one banner on me, but the idea of these closets is to basically just stack some end rods on the wall, probably even a little bit lower than that, with some banners. So for clothes like this, you could even add like a stool in here if you wanted to. I don't know how. I'd rather use a slab if I was going to make a store so that we can kind of like sit down. Maybe like a chest in here if we wanted to, or an armor stand or something like that. It depends how cramped you want this room to be. So you could have the chest and the armor stand combination, or maybe like a chest and armor stand. You could even add the tripwire hook combo as well, and maybe just add it at the end here, or maybe add a couple on top here or something like that. A bunch of different options with this. Use some different banners, maybe even add a painting in here just to make it look a little bit less dull. Maybe even a bit of carpet also would make it look a little bit better. I don't know, it's kind of up to you. You can kind of like tailor this how you would like it. Regardless, we have now finished this side of the house, and we just have to come all the way over to the opposite side of the house and come to the big bedroom and do the exact same thing. So we start off with our rectangle 2x3 just in this corner, white carpet on top. We then want to surround it with green carpet. We actually need to stick a chest in here as well, right there. That's perfect. On the wall, we need to place a couple of paintings, so just some 1x1s will do nicely. Then coming into this room, we will first of all place a bath using some smooth quartz stairs, angled like this, tripwire hook and a lever. We then want to have on the same wall here a green banner. And do we want a bath mat? I don't know whether we want a bath mat. I don't know whether it's too much. On this wall, however, we do want a cauldron, trapdoor on top, upside down stairs, tripwire hook above the stairs, and then I do think a flower pot here just against the toilet. That's perfect. Then we once again have a closet, and it doesn't really matter how you decorate these particularly, as long as we have the end rod. You could even have like a couple of rows of end rods, and like this, just like so. So a couple of rows of end rods, chest here again, tripwire hooks. I'm thinking the armor stand. I think that's probably the best configuration for me. A couple of carpet, and I'd probably even just put a why am I spelling car? I'd probably just put a door on it as well. So something like that I think would look good. And I'm just going to go and stick one in the opposite room as well. And I think that I'll also add the bath mat. And well, that's actually it. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, that is the tutorial 100% fully completed. However, this video is not over. We must now take our giant suburban house and add it into our city. We are actually going to use this house and a cartoon house to form a brand new suburbs. And we will place it next to the previous suburbs that we have made. We are slowly connecting these two parts of the city together, and I like that it has turned into this. This wasn't originally planned, it just kind of happened. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the mini city builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Last thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to download a world completely filled with each individual build that has been ever added to Mini City, become a channel member today. You will not only gain access to a world filled with builds, but you will also gain a cool avatar next to your name whenever you comment down below, and you will also gain access to some cool emojis as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.